All right, well, what's in your food? I guess that depends on who you ask. If you ask GMO advocates, they might list a number of ingredients you can't even pronounce. Or the more popular answer could be, that's none of your business. But the more important question might be, what are the future consequences of our present actions? For years, the agriculture giant Monsanto has been genetically modifying corn and soybeans to withstand and even produce herbicides and pesticides. But as would happen with the drug-resistant bugs in modern medicine, and as Einstein so eloquently put it, not unlike me, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This time, it's in the form of superweeds and even more daunting, superworms. The Environmental Protection Agency has launched an investigation to inspect the resistance that is developing in these parts of the Corn Belt in the unprecedented colony of superworms that are bound to spread throughout the entire Midwest. To talk more about this, I'm joined by Alexis Baden-Mayer, Political Director for Organic Consumers Association. Hi there, Alexis. So let's start off by talking about these superworms. What are they? How are they different than regular worms? And how do they affect our health?
Well, Monsanto invented a genetically engineered crop that had Bt in it, an engineered version of a natural insecticide. The idea is that the insecticide would be part of the crop. So when the rootworm attacked the crop, they would die because the pesticide would be inside the crop. But we knew that this would happen, and finally the rootworms have developed a resistance to the genetically engineered crop. And it was bound to happen. Monsanto knew it would happen, and now they'll have to come up with a new product to sell to farmers.
And Alexis, we saw these super weeds that Monsanto had created, and the special seeds that came from the special seeds that were supposed to be resistant to disease. Now an even more ominous disease came along, and they had to create a toxic herbicide to battle it. In turn, they made money off of the thing that they created in that turn the super weeds. So they're making money off of these things that are happening. I mean, are we going to expect the same thing to happen with super worms? Are they going to be making money off of that too?
Of course. Monsanto is a chemical company. They market themselves as, a company servicing farmers, helping feed the world. But what they want to do is sell pesticides and herbicides. And these products, which have a very short shelf life, certainly enable them to continue this business model.
And Alexis, how is your organization involved in the Proposition 37? The Proposition 37, of course, is the initiative in California that would require GMO labeling on foods.
Well, we're supporting Proposition 37. We support consumers' right to know what's in our food. The chemical companies have kept this from us from a long time. They don't want us to know that we're eating genetically modified foods. Consumers certainly want to know. And so that's what this proposition is all about.
Now, advocates of this Proposition 37 say it would bring transparency to the food industry. Opponents say that it would hurt farmers, it would have adverse effects on the economy, and it would hamper innovation. We were in a very bad drought this summer, and experts say this could turn into a corn crisis. So is now really the time to be worrying about what's in our food rather than whether there's enough of it?
Well, we definitely need to worry about whether there's enough food, but it's not. The problem is these industrial monocultures of genetically modified crops. These are the crops that are suffering in the drought. The farmers who are growing crops organically and who are growing more than one crop and who are mixing animal agriculture with growing crops, these farmers are not experiencing the same kind of tragic drought that the monoculture GMO farmers are. So if we have more consumer awareness about GMOs, it'll help the push to develop more organic and sustainable agriculture.
And we know that 85% of corn crop is located within the drought area itself, with nearly half of the crop area experiencing extreme or exceptional drought levels. We also know that the majority of American corn actually isn't used to feed Americans. A lot of it goes into petroleum. A lot of it goes to animals to feed animals. So are we overhyping just the corn aspect of the GMO foods a little bit or not?
Oh, no, it's very dangerous even to be eating animals that are fed genetically engineered crops. And we've learned that pregnant women have the Bt gene in their blood. the engineered Bt gene is in the blood of 93% of women of reproductive age and their fetuses. So this is a very, very dangerous thing to have in the food supply, even if it's even only being fed to animals. But Walmart began selling Bt corn to consumers in the form of regular sweet corn that people eat at barbecues. So it's slowly creeping into every aspect of our food supply.
Now, Alexis, I also know that Monsanto has already spent $4.2 million trying to kill the November Prop 37 initiative. Critics like your organization have made this abundantly clear. But, I mean, I have to ask, what's the difference in what Monsanto is doing versus what you're doing? As I understand, your organization donated $40,000 to Yes on 37 versus the $4.2 million from Monsanto.
Well, we've actually donated $730,000, and I'm very proud that we've been able to raise that money. This is all coming from small contributions from consumers who really care. And it's a real tragedy that we have to raise money to do a ballot initiative when this should be part of our regulatory system, just like it is in most countries where they respect consumers' right to know what's in their food. But certainly, we're going to be outspent. Monsanto and their allies have raised about $25 million so far. We're going to rely on word of mouth, social networking, consumers educating one another. They're going to just put up a bunch of expensive TV ads. So, hopefully democracy will work. 90% of the public supports this, and hopefully that will be reflected in the election.
All right, Alexis Baden-Mayer, Political Director for Organic Consumers Association, thank you for joining us. We'll have to see what comes of this Prop 37 battle.
Thanks so much.